Again, thank you so much for joining us here on Idaho Today. From giant eagles to miniature falconets, meet the many species of raptors and see how they survive winters, learn how to hunt, and also undergo migration. Their flight, sight, hearing, and smell superpowers give them dominance over the skies. And we're joined right now with director Matt Hamilton, all the way from southern Spain. Tell us, Matt, about Raptors, A Fistful of Daggers, and how this project got started.
Great. Well, thank you for having me on, first of all, Melissa. So the show started really because my career began filming snowy owls, the first opportunity I ever got to film. And I've always wanted to make a show about raptors. I think for most people, there's extraordinary predator, but they're often really far away, perched on a tree or soaring high in the sky above. But raptors are so special, and there's so much more to them than we realized. I always wanted to make a really in-depth show that captured their different characters, the variety of birds there are, and all the different habitats that they've conquered.
And why the personal interest, though, in birds of prey? What is it about these creatures that just really intrigues you?
For me, I mean, they are real survivors. So they are pretty much the top predator in the world, one of the most successful predators there are. But what's the most fascinating is just that their lifestyles are fast, intense, challenging, and they overcome so many different challenges in their lives. I think they're just really extraordinary birds.
They are extraordinary, you know, and Matt, I'm sure you're probably familiar, but here in Idaho, we are incredibly lucky to have the World Center for Birds of Prey. And we have a major conservation effort here in the state of Idaho to help with raptors in the wild, and have made a lot of great effort to protect some of those species. So I know our viewership is likely going to be incredibly interested in this program and in watching this. I could only imagine that you learned some really incredible things during this, though, too, right?
Oh, absolutely. When you know, we set off to make a two-part series, so we needed to film a lot of birds. So there, I mean, there are about 500 different species, give or take, in the world, and I had to sort of filter through and work out which ones we should showcase. And there are some in there that I was really not familiar with or hadn't even heard of before. For example, there's one in South Africa called the gymnogene, or African harrier hawk, and it's got double-jointed legs and can reach inside tree holes to catch chicks. So it's the stuff of nightmares. But yeah, I mean, they get up to some amazing stuff, and there are some incredible birds in it.
And how many continents did you visit to create this program?
Oh, all of them apart from Antarctica, I think. So we were everywhere. I think there are about 25, 30 different sequences. We filmed in 15 or 16 countries, I think, over a couple of years. So yeah, we were busy. It was just after all the COVID lockdowns as well, so yes. It was quite intense.
So you're a very well-traveled man, Matt.
Yes, very much so. I have young children now, so sort of less so these days. But you know, yes, I get to spend a good lot of time out in the wild, messing around.
Yes, that's super exciting, though. And I also know, too, that this documentary also dives into how climate affects birds of prey. Does anything in particular stand out that you are really excited for people to discover in the series in that regard?
Absolutely, and you know, there are many threats that face birds of prey. So habitat loss, persecution, climate change. What I like to look for is stories of hope as well, because birds of prey, raptors, are just so extraordinarily well adapted and are such great survivors that they seem able to really cope with a lot of these challenges. Climate change is another thing, but in one of the episodes, which is on next week, we meet the Florida snail kite. Now, in the early 2000s, the Florida snail kite had almost vanished completely. But after 10 years, they really bounced back. And what had happened was this invasive snail had come in that's 5 times bigger than the normal aquatic snail that they feed on. They live in these big wetland swamps in Florida. And over the course of 10 years, scientists had found that the beak and body size of the Florida snail kites had grown by 8 to 12% to adapt to this invasive snail, which is just absolutely mind-blowing. And it's nice to see that a change that's so extraordinary is possible. And as you guys know, in Idaho, with the space and the conservation efforts, raptors can absolutely cope with a lot of these challenges.
Yeah, absolutely amazing. I cannot wait to watch this. Matt, how do we tune in?
The show is on tonight, the first episode at 8 p.m. on PBS Nature, and the next episode is next Wednesday, 8 p.m. on PBS Nature.
Wonderful. Matt, thank you again so much for joining us, and thank you for all your efforts, too. when it comes
Thank you
to
very much.
education on birds of prey. Everyone, stick around. More to come right here on Idaho Today, right after the break.